Hey everyone, Neen here. Welcome to writing episode 2. So this episode is actually me addressing a question, a topic that viewer has actually asked. And I find it interesting and a little bit adorable, the perception that they have. So I had someone reach out to me and ask, how do I overcome writer's block? How do I not get writer's block? What do I do that I don't ever seem to get writer's block? Wow, I do get writer's block, but you're right, I don't show that side of things. It's kind of the same with my reviews. They're all positive, if you've noticed. They're all positive because it is not my place to tear down another author or one of their books for a book that I am not their target audience for. So anyone who has those doubts about my positivity or anything along that, because I have had some comments about that as well, it's not my place. There is enough negativity in this world. I'm not going to add to it. Yes, I read books I don't like. I don't review them. That's plain and simply. If I can't give a positive, honest review of a book, I won't review it. I might mention it in a wrap-up. Even sometimes I haven't even mentioned books that I've not liked even in wrap-ups because I can't find something that I liked about the books. And like I said, reading is personal preference a lot of the time. You may not be the target audience. And as a fellow author, I will never kill someone's dream because I'm not the reader for them. As a reviewer, I think it's my place to not add more negativity in there. There are so many trolls out there. There are so many people who, they find one spelling mistake and, oh, it's a 1 star. No, we've got enough of that. We need to see the good things about the books, and that's what I'm focused on. And that's what I also focus on my writing, I guess, because there are hard days. There are so many hard days where I would love to get words down, and it's not always time that stops me either. It can be my own head. It can be too much anxiety. It can be that dreaded imposter syndrome raising its ugly, vicious little head again at me. How do I contend it? That's a really good one, because there are so many things out there and so many people who will say, oh, just do this, just do that, just write. That's great, but sometimes it's really hard. So there are lots of different tactics people use. For me, coffee helps. No, well, yes, it does. However, I also find going outside is one of my best anti-blockers. Also, things like going somewhere else and not having the distraction of the day-to-day life. I can write at home. Sometimes I really struggle with it. And usually it's not necessarily the distractions themselves. It's the imposter syndrome. It is my own frustration with my current work in progress or my own self-doubts. And I will use housework as an excuse not to write. I will be like, oh, I better go let the dog in. Oh, I better go chuck on a load of washing. Oh, let me just fold those clothes. Like anything that will stop me from having to sit down, and then I can blame that. So that's actually a really common imposter syndrome procrastination technique that I didn't realize I had been doing till recently. So I find that if I plan to go write outside, my partner for my birthday set up a new little writing area outside for me, which is great. It still does have this potential of coming in here and being distracted, procrastinated, all that thing. However, if I go down to the cafe, where I make sure that I do not connect to the internet on my laptop, I make sure that you know, my phone's on silent. While I can still have it go off, my phone might ping. It's that one level less. And I have heard people who say things like, oh, they'll leave their phone in another room. That's all well and good, but I'm never without my watch, so my watch always pings. I have tried putting the watch on like cinema mode, but then I found that I was too anxious. Like I missed, you know, what if I missed a call from the school or something like that for my son. So you've got to find the balance that works for you. When I am actually finding a block, when I'm sitting there at the cafe or, you know, with the time and I'm just like, ugh, what I will sometimes do, there are lots of things sometimes I'll do. I will purposely put on like, if I'm home, I'll put something on the TV that I've seen a million times, but always gets me excited. So a movie I love or a TV show I love, Star Trek Voyager, Stargate SG-1, The Old Guard, things that get me excited about stories, about storytelling. Things that won't distract me too much because I've watched it so many times. Criminal Minds is one of my favorite ones to go back and rewatch, especially seasons with Prentice, although she is a little distracting. There's some of the things. I sometimes will also put on the soundtrack for the work in progress. So it doesn't usually start straight away, but by about 10,000 Ks into a work in progress, I have at least maybe a half dozen songs that I love listening to or I refer to while writing it. They present the mood, or there's some the ping. They present the mood of the story I'm trying to write, or a character, or some aspect. It relates it to me, so I will put that on. These are all just different techniques, and you have to find the right technique for you and what works best for you. Some people need a clean area. Some people need specific tasks done before they can sit down and write. For me, I need that. I can't write in silence. Silence is like my killer. So even if I have rain sounds or something on, however, I have to be careful not to use the same rain sounds that I use for sleep, because that does not do any good. What else is there? There are a few different things. I do often, sometimes I will just go through some images that I have saved on my computer for inspiration. I have a folder called inspiration, and I will flick through there and just look at them and even write just 2 lines about something. And then it just might get me back into that mode and I can go back to my work in progress. I sometimes will read through, but then that's really dangerous because then I find that I'm editing and I'm learning that if I go back and edit, I don't ever finish. There's always something else you can improve. And I will polish a scene and then realize that I'm cutting that whole scene anyway. So it's a waste of time. It's still really hard for me to not go back. I will go through the folder of my work in progress, which will have inspiration photos. I might have, photos that go, oh, I want a scene set around this feeling, or these are the characters I sort of love. This is a scene I want for them. Those are some of the things that I use to help me push through. Sometimes I also just give myself a break. Sometimes that's the best way. I go, nah, I'm not even going to turn on my computer today. And usually by the end of the day, I'm itching to go back and write. I give myself permission to have days off. Yes, I have a goal, a daily goal that I have a sexy spreadsheet for when I'm writing first drafts. When I'm editing, when I'm on the next stage of things, no, I don't do word counts. But when I'm writing first drafts, I do have a sexy spreadsheet for each project. And I do have a floor of 250 words a day. I don't always meet them, not every day. But I will put in it, no guilt. You know, life happens. It's okay. There will be some days where I've hit 1,000 plus, but that's my floor goal. If I can meet that 4 times a week, because that's that's my floor of the week as well. So I have a daily floor and then I have a weekly floor, and like floor to ceiling, 4 days a week, 250 words. That's fine. That's 1,000 words a week. That's more than I had going into the start of the week. So there's little tricks like that that can help you celebrate the little achievements, because they're not little. They may seem little in the grand scheme of things. They're not little. They are the journey and the fun and the joy. And don't forget to enjoy the process. Yes, there will be times where you tear your hair out. See, almost no hair. And you want to scream and you may even hate your work in progress. Keep pushing through it, because you'll come back around to loving it again. It's amazing and it's fun. And thank you so much for the question and for the topic. Anyone else who wants to ask me anything or do topics, please send them through, email, comment. I'm happy to discuss any of this writing stuff. I will put up another daily life writing episode soon. I've got heaps videoed, but because I've been so sick, I have not been able to sit down and edit it and just see how it goes. But they will be up soon. And thanks, y'all. Please don't forget to click on the links below. Any support helps. Check out my website at www.neencohen.com. Thanks, y'all. I do have a sexy said spread. Let's try that again.